What's up, everybody out there in the YouTube trucking community? Sean Cahalan, Christian brother trucker, coming at you again with another video. And I wanted to touch on some more points on the tire situation that I was talking about with Melton Truck Lines using the recaps on the spread axle flatbeds and the major problems that I ran into with that. The couple of points that I wanted to add real quick on that was the recaps are made with a casing, and they take a piece of rubber tread and then basically glue it and press it onto the tire. And when it's on your tractor or on your trailer position, that basic tread pattern is designed to run straight. It's not designed to withstand side swipe forces. Okay, so on a spread axle trailer, the extreme forces that are imposed on these trailers when you jack them at a 90-degree or anything over a 22.5-degree angle and you try to back them up, the whole trailer will twist because it gets torque locked. And so the forces that you're exerting on that front axle on that trailer are immense. So if you know anything about the construction of casings in general, the casings are retreaded. And so you might put a brand new Michelin XDA Energy on a tractor position and run it out, and that tire may last 250,000 miles before it runs down on its tread, right? And then it gets turned in for a casing core. Well, then they take that casing core and they retread it again. They put another tread pattern on there and resell the tire. There are certain quality control factors that are taken into consideration, but you got to remember that these tire casings are rubber, cord, and wire. And so when you get a casing, you don't know if it's been retreaded once. You don't know if it's been ran down on a virgin casing and then recapped and then ran all the way down again and then recapped again. They can recap these casings up to 3 times before they can no longer recap them. So one thing that you can do to try to minimize some of the damage that's done and maybe some quality control and stuff like that is you can double check and ask your tire manufacturer how many times they've been recapped. I will only ever tell somebody that it's an okay idea. I firmly don't agree with recaps at all, period. That's my bottom line. If you insist on running recaps, I will tell you to buy a good quality recap that has only been recapped one time. Now, I don't know if you can, even double check on that to make sure, because I don't mess with recaps enough to know. And of course, you absolutely cannot put them in any steer position, of course, because, that's just dumb. But you also never, ever, ever, absolutely never, ever, 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 ever put them on a spread axle on the front axle. That's just ridiculous. Okay, so what I wanted to expand on is the tire that I blew out and had a Love's service truck come out and pull off my truck and fix. When I looked at that tire explosion, I need you guys to understand a couple of different things, okay? It wasn't a recap failure. It was a casing failure. The casing literally delaminated and exploded. So it was more of a casing failure. The recap, like I said, was a brand new recap. So the forces that were exerted on this tire caused something to tear inside the casing from the extreme side swiping on these trailers, because when you pick them up, you don't know how many drivers have had them, how many curbs they ran over, and what they've put that casing through. All I remember is when I looked at that retread, it wasn't just the tread that had come off the tire. The damage went all the way down into the sidewall, and it was actually delaminated. It looked like somebody had peeled an onion open. And so the tearing and everything else went all the way down the side of the tire and looked like the rubber and the layers inside of that casing had come apart. The other thing that I want to bring up to your awareness and attention is the fact that Melton Truck Lines has been using these recaps on these trailers for a very, very long time. So this isn't anything new. okay? When I was in orientation and when I downloaded their app and their training and all of this, part of their continuing education training videos that we had to watch, one of them was training specifically on how to identify bad recaps. Now, as a company, if you know that your tires are coming apart, if you know that it's a bad idea, that you have to go as far as to train specifically your drivers and make special videos on how to identify recaps that are getting ready to come off your trailer, doesn't that kind of say a lot? I mean, it did to me. And especially looking back on it, I look back on that and go, wow. So in their training, they would tell you that it's okay if you see cracks in the side of the tread layer, that's okay, that's normal. Because sometimes the overlapping edge, you can see a crack that'll go all the way around. Sometimes okay. So anyway, they start to separate and you can see that. It's normal, right, to them. This is normal. Right, yeah, happens all the time. It's oh yeah, nothing to worry about. It's normal. So what they said is that you need to stick your finger or a pin or something into that tread, and if it went into the tire more than a 1/4 inch, or more along the lines of like a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch, that meant that it was in fact separating, that it's not just a crack. Because 95% of these recaps, after they ran a while, you would see cracks developing around the casing because of the normal rotation of the tire and whatnot and whatever. Any cracks that opened up more than a 1/4 to a 1/2 inch into the tread and that were more than 1 to 2 inches long meant that you needed to take that tire in and you needed to get it fixed. So that's why not every single one of the tire situations that I was telling you about, not all of them were a blowout, and that's why I wanted to make the video to kind of expand on that a little bit and say that not all of them were blowouts. Some of them were tires that I identified as being high risk for that casing, or for the retread to come off the casing. And so that's why I had so many instances where I had to go to these loves and dealt with these absolute morons that couldn't figure out that I wanted 2 tires replaced and not just 1. So those are my thoughts on that. I'm currently sitting on a TA outside of Tumsumba, Mississippi, and there's some interesting backing going on with these trucks around here. You know, some of these drivers just make me shake my head and go, man, I guess everybody has to learn somehow, right? And so I pulled up here, and you know, I prefer to be kind of off by myself when I make these videos. I don't want people peeking and lurking and looking at me while I'm making videos and talking to the camera. I guess I'm a little shy. Not. But so I had to close the curtains a little bit. I'm like, yeah, privacy, please. And speaking of privacy, I was up in Pennsylvania the other day, and I pulled into this off-the-wall truck stop out in the middle of nowhere. And I parked next to this guy, and I got my wife on the phone. And I look over, and he's watching porn on his phone. Whatever floats your boat, right? But, I mean, dude, have some class. I mean, you know, I'm a Christian, so I don't watch porn anymore. And, yeah, I have a very loving Christian wife, and so I have all I need. But I'm not judgmental of other people, but I will say this. If you're gonna sit in a truck, in your front seat, watching porn on your phone, go to the sleeper or close your curtains and do it in private. You're sitting in the front seat of your truck watching porno where everybody else can see what you're doing, or at least the guy parked next to you can see what you're doing. Very distasteful, just disgusting. Anyway. So I thought that was a little disturbing. So I closed my curtains so that I didn't have to see it. Oh, man. So I was watching a video today that was talking about the problems in the trucking industries and the problems that you can never fix. And the guy was talking about how, you know, what is What are some of the major problems that we think that lead to high driver turnover, and how would you go about retaining drivers? And is it something that these companies can fix? No, it's really not. Not unless you can change the face of the whole planet. Not unless you can change the attitude of every single dock worker and guard shack worker and every single shipping office worker and every single agent and broker and fleet manager, and on and on and on. The reason why we have such a high turnover, the reason why people get so frustrated and burnt out here, is because the general overall lack of give a shit. Nobody gives a shit. Some of the major things that kind of rub me the wrong way personally, and I'm only going to speak for myself here, man, I'm sure that other people are bothered by some of this stuff too, but I don't know. There have been times when I would be loading or swapping a trailer or doing something at a shipper, and I would go into the shipping office and I would ask to use the bathroom. I got to take a dump. I got to go right now. Okay? No, we don't have a public bathroom. Really? Really? Are you serious? Yeah, we don't have a public bathroom. I said, so you have a public bathroom for your employees, right? Yeah. Yep, we sure do. But I can't use it? Nope. Okay. So, you know, it's that kind of indifference. It's that kind of disconnect. It's nobody gives a shit. You know, how many shippers have you been into where, oh, you don't have the right pickup information, you don't have this, you don't have that, you need to turn around and leave? I have literally been ran off from shippers because I pulled into the gate and I parked off to the side. I'm on the phone, I'm on the Qualcomm, I'm trying to get a hold of somebody at the office to try to get things figured out so I can get the proper load information so that I can try to figure out where I'm gonna go when I leave out of here, because I don't just take off and drive without knowing where I'm going. Anybody that has been driving truck long enough, you know, you don't just leave a shipper and start driving aimlessly. You need to know where you're going, right? And if you get turned away from a shipper, you need to call dispatch and you need to say, hey, we're initiating another truck move here. I need to know which direction I'm going. Am I going north? Am I going south? Am I going east? Am I going west? Give me a different load, quick, because I need to get out of here. Dude, some of these Gestapo guard agents, or whatever you want to call them, they act like freaking Hitler. They'll come up to your truck and they'll be like, you can't be parked here. I'm like, what am I bothering? What am I disrupting? I'm parked out of the way. I'm parked off to the side. Can you not see that you're being unreasonable here? Whatever. Can you not see that I'm just trying to provide a service, and that service that I provide keeps your business running? If it wasn't for me, Mr. Truck Driver, you wouldn't even have a job. Nobody would haul your freight. So if nobody was hauling your freight, you wouldn't be making the freight. You wouldn't be handling the freight if you didn't have trucks to put them on. You think you're so much special than me, or so much more special than me? And I understand that these guards are just following protocols. And so this is actually a problem with the corporate structure, right? Policies and protocols. Everybody just follows what the company tells them to do. They don't do what's moral or ethical or the right thing to do, which is to have a little bit of compassion on a guy and let him figure stuff out before you run him off and run him out of the property. You know, we're all treated out here, us drivers, like we're just pieces of crap. And we're a big old problem. We're running your freight. We're providing a service for you. I might not work for you, But I'm working with you because you're putting the freight on my truck and I'm moving your freight to your customer. And when I get to the customer, hey, by the way, Mr. Customer, I'm providing a service. I'm bringing you your freight. Why are you going to treat me like I'm some alien from a different planet? I can't even use your bathroom. I can't even park on your property. And some of these people have zero tolerance. Like, they won't even let you pass the gate. A lot of these Walmart distribution centers and stuff, if you're not doing a live load, you can't even park there with a bobtail. They'll run you off. I've been run off after sitting for 30 minutes. I've been ran off immediately. You know, and if you're in the middle of a downtown area, Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth, you're in a busy shipping area that doesn't have a whole lot of street parking, what are you going to do? You got to go 20, 30 miles out of route to go find a truck stop or somewhere convenient to pull over on the shoulder so you can call your company? It's rude. You know, and as far as the corporate structure and as far as the companies, you know, putting in driver facilities at your terminal, that doesn't help much. It's nice. Us drivers, we appreciate it, but that's not going to retain drivers. Just because you got a shower facility and just because you got a gym and a basketball court at your terminal, how often do I spend time at your terminal? I avoid your terminal. I do it on purpose. Why do I avoid your terminal? Well, because if I come into your terminal, I'm going to be there for half a day. Because you're going to inspect my truck and you're going to see if my truck needs to be PM'd and you're going to see if anything needs to be done on my truck. And you're going to look at that trailer and you're going to see if you can take that trailer out of service. I worked at Melton, and at Melton, boy, you had to have everything inspected. You had to come in and then you had to check in with the shop. You had to check in with safety. You had to check in with logs. You had to check in with licensing and permits. You had to check in with the local dispatch lady, and so on and so forth and so on and so forth. Dude, this would take me hours to run back and forth. And at this big, huge facility, if I needed to go inside and I needed to have my registration book and my logs, and they had the whole list of stuff they wanted me to bring inside for them to inspect. I literally would spend half a day to all day just at the terminal doing stuff. Do I get paid for it? No. Are you compensating me for my time? No. The only time you compensate me for my time is if I'm down on maintenance, and what is that, $25 a day? Yeah, that's big money. You want to start making a difference in drivers' lives? We need better communication out here. We need better communication, and they need to make the communication more direct. I need to be able to call the people that I need to be able to call to get the information that I need. I need to be able to dispatch my own truck. I need to be able to book my own loads. That's just me personally. I don't know what you need as a driver, you personally. But that'd be one nice thing. If I can call the shippers and receivers and ask them what their receiving hours are, call them directly instead of having to play phone tag and chain email with my fleet manager, who's then going to send off emails to five or six different people to find out information that I need. And I'm sitting at a shipper or a receiver with an angry Gestapo frickin' security guard that's trying to run me off. Yeah, that's not fun. That's not fun. We're treated like we're lepers. We're treated like we're, like I said, pieces of crap. Nobody cares about us. We're just a big, huge inconvenience. Taking up space. Get out of here, driver. You know, you can't say it's insurance. If I'm there for business, I'm there for business. I'm there to run your freight. And even if I do get turned away, I'm still part of your business. I'm still attempting to do business at your facility. So therefore, I have a valid reason to be able to park at your facility and get on the phone and call my broker, or call my agent, or call my fleet manager, or call whoever I need to call to find out where I'm going next. This kind of attitude needs to stop. We need to stop being treated the way that we're treated. I guarantee you the people in the office don't get treated this way, but we do. Why? We're the ones that are doing all the work. As far, not all of the work. Of course, I wouldn't want the office job. That's hard work too. But I'm saying we're the boots on the ground. We're the ones out here doing the actual physical work. And we're treated like the biggest pieces of crap in all of the trucking industry. I guarantee you that lady would never get on the phone and treat one of the office personnel that way. I bet you she would have a completely different disposition. But not me. I'm just a dirty old truck driver. Get off my lot. Get out of here. You can't be here. You could say it's a lack of respect. I respect you, why can't you respect me? I do all kinds of things that you ask me to do. Slide my tandem, sweep out my trailer, open my doors, bump a dock, sit there and wait for 5 hours. Well, it's okay if you're asking me to do it, but if I need something from you, oh, absolutely not. No. You can't take 5 minutes. You can't take 30 minutes. You can't take your 10 off, even though I've got acres upon acres and thousands of trailer slots that, oh yeah, we got plenty of room, but you can't park here. Why not? Why can't I drop the trailer and move into bobtail parking and take a 10 off? Why can't you provide an outhouse, a whole shit box, so that I can go to the bathroom? And why can't you provide garbage receptacles so that I can throw my trash away? Why is that asking too much? Do you really think that it's asking too much? I don't think it's asking too much. I think that should be common courtesy. You provide for your employees a bathroom. You provide for your employees vending machines. You provide for your employees parking. You provide for your employees the ability to take a break. Why don't you do it for me? What, because I don't work at the same company? I don't clock in and I don't clock out? No, I drive a truck. I'm a worker just like you. What is it that's about me that makes it unacceptable for me to receive any of these generous amenities? You want to increase driver retention out here. That's what we need to change. And I have no idea how we're going to change it. I really don't. But we're treated like the scum of the earth out here. We really are. We're just in the way. We're an inconvenience. Half of these guards, if you've been out here any length of time, they have bad. Some of them have really good attitudes. Some of them don't. Some of them can't wait to get rid of you. Some of them can't wait to tell you how it is. You know how many shippers and receivers I've been into? They're like, haven't you been here before? Have you ever been here before? You know what I always tell them? Yes, I've been here before. But Mr. Guard, do you have any idea how many shippers and receivers I go into and leave every day? Hundreds of different customers. Hundreds. You really think that I'm gonna remember what you expect me to do when I get here at this facility? Really? No, I don't have a photographic memory. Sorry. But hey, if you just ask me what you need, tell me what you need, give me clear instructions, just like you would give anybody else, I can follow them to the best of my ability, but no, I'm not going to remember the layout of your facility. I'm not going to remember where your shipping doors are. I'm not going to remember the policy and where to drop my trailer, where to get my paperwork, if I get it at the guard shack or if I get it at shipping. I'm not going to remember any of that. How can you expect me to remember your specific details on how you do things at your facility? And here's the thing. How many of you drivers drive for a big company and one of your bigger customers is Home Depot, Lowe's, Procter & Gamble, Walmart, Sam's Club, or any of those? Okay, now, along those lines, when you're thinking about these people, how many locations do they have around the country? Tons. Lots. Yeah, lots. Okay. Some of them you may remember how to get into, some of them you might not. I usually remember how to get into some of these places. But what I tend to forget is the little minute details. Do I slide my tandems? Well, if you have a sign out there, I'm going to slide my tandems. You know, but here's the thing I'm going to focus on. At each one of these facilities, their little intricate details on what they want at that facility changes from facility to facility to facility to facility, even within the same company. They have you park your trailers in different spots. Some of them want you to open the doors. Some of them don't want you to open the doors. Some of them, you need to go into the shipping office, drop your paperwork off if you're delivering, and if you're picking up, then you get your I don't know. You know, like I said, every facility is a little bit different on how they handle the little intricate details. Nobody can remember all of that stuff. So, Mr. Guard, when you ask me, haven't you been here before? Don't you know what we want? No, I can't possibly know what you want. You know, can't you tell me? Oh, is that too much to ask you? I'm sorry, am I putting you out? Have you been doing this every day for the last 360? Oh, you're getting tired of it. You don't like your job. There's the truth of it. Suck it up, Buttercup. Tell me what you want and I'll do it for you. Don't sit there and give me attitude. It's our attitudes out here that need help. You want to retain drivers, get a handle on some of these shippers and receivers. As a company, as a big company, you tell them, you disrespect my drivers, I'm not hauling your freight anymore. You start threatening to pull your contracts or whatever, you know, but hey, the reality of it is you pull your contract, there's probably thousands of other companies out there that would gladly haul that freight. So yeah, they can be assholes and they can do whatever they want, and say whatever they want, and treat us however they want. Doesn't matter, right? So can you change it? No. No, you can't. It's all just a balance of whether or not you can handle it. Whether you like and love trucking enough to stay here. Whether this lifestyle is suited for you or not. You know, can you live in a 10-foot box, isolated all by yourself for weeks at a time? Only you can answer that. And if you can't, oh well, leave. You know, companies are already going to know that they're going to have a higher turnover rate. There's like a standard turnover rate, and if the company exceeds that standard turnover rate, there's usually reasons, and usually those reasons are the way that you're treated within that company, how they handle different things, how much they put you out when you come into the yard and you have to go and check in with 50 different departments and you need to run circles around and you get stuck there at that terminal every time you come home to the terminal. You know, it just is what it is. Trucking has its many different avenues and many different problems. And I don't really think that you can take the trucking out of the trucking industry. I don't know. It just, some of the best ran companies I've ever ran for. What made it better for me was the smaller fleets. And when I picked up the phone and called up my company, I drove for Arlo G-Lot Trucking out of Jerome, Idaho. Small little company. They have 100 trucks and a bunch of owner-operators that run for them. And y'all, I could literally pick up the phone and get a hold of my fleet manager. And my fleet manager was also my dispatcher. I had one contact. And he always answered the phone. And they had one person that answered the phone on the weekends, and if I dialed that number, it was a different number, she would always answer the phone. Always. And I was the most important person to her when I called her. Or him. No questions asked, no attitude, no nothing. And my stuff got dealt with immediately. Why? Ratio. As I've mentioned before in my other videos about communications, ratio. How many trucks to how many personnel are in your office, and how many trucks are on that board. They had a low ratio. So their workload was manageable. It was easy to communicate. Hardly anything ever went wrong. And as far as the tires are concerned, remember I was telling you about how that company ran all virgin steer tires? They would use Michelin XDA Energies steer tires or Bridgestone steer tires. And the reason why that's important is because those casings are brand new. They're durable. They're not going to come apart. And I had a dump axle, so I could relieve the pressure off of the front axle when I was turning, so that when it would scrub, it wouldn't damage the tires. And we had the side boxes in between the tandems. So in between the spread axle, or no, they weren't in between there. They were in front of the front axle. So even if we did tear out a tire, it wasn't going to take out the box. And then we had a dunnage rack on there. We had really nice equipment. You know, flatbedding and box truck driving and reefer all come with their special flavor of extra accessory stuff that you have to do. And dry van is by far the easiest, simplest, least amount of extra stuff that you got to do. Reefer's a lot more complicated, and flatbedding, of course, is a lot more complicated, and tanker is a lot more complicated. And those are some of the things that I'll talk about, is the differences and what to expect if you're thinking about changing lanes and going to a different avenue of trucking. So those are my thoughts. I just wanted to expand on the tires a little bit, explain that a little bit further, and then talk about the problems in the industry, why we have such a high turnover. It's simple. Attitude. You know, we're treated like garbage, and we're away from home, and we live in a box. We live in these trucks. We're isolated. We're alone, and on top of that, we're treated like pieces of crap. That's hard for anybody to endure. You know, you take any one of those and isolate it off by itself. If you're treated like crap at home, oh well, whatever. Life goes on, right? It's something that you can bear. Living in a box, being isolated all the time. If you have good communications at home, I would like to be treated with a little bit more respect and grace, and not be feeling like I'm just a burden on the world constantly in traffic, even amongst other drivers, man. We're always cut off, we're always in the way, somebody's always, you know, flying by us, we're not going fast enough. It's attitude. It's 100% attitude. People come out here excited, open-minded. You know, they're like, yeah, I got my CDL, I'm ready to learn. Right? And then they step into this box with a cranky ass trainer who's dealing with a bunch of BS from a bad company, who's dealing with a bunch of BS with bad load information, and who's dealing with a bunch of BS from every single shipper and receiver that he goes to. It's constant. The stress out here is just constant, and it's a lot. So it's hard for anybody to bear. So you want to know why there's such a high turnover? It's because trucking is legitimately stressful and difficult. Make no mistake about it. We don't have any unicorns or fluffy bunnies out here. You might have one in your truck. But no, you got to have endurance and a lot of patience. Even I get cranky. But I don't hold my tongue. I say how it is. I'll light somebody up and I'll fling it right back in their face. I have no problems telling somebody how I feel. None. I don't even care. I told that shipper that wouldn't let me use the bathroom how messed up that was. I told him straight to his face. I said, that is messed up. And then I went out and took a shit in his parking lot. No, I didn't. I'm just joking. Or maybe I did. You'll never know. Usually I take a shit in my garbage can. I had to go. Bad. Y'all. Man, you can go to a truck stop. I'm like, yeah, that option ended about 5 minutes ago. I'm prairie dogging here. I gotta go. And you're not gonna let me use your bathroom. That is fucked up. And I told him that straight to his face. Yeah. Whatever, dude. You know, I'm not opposed to going out in the bushes, in the trees. It's usually what I do if I have to. Well, a lot of trees in this country, you say. A lot of trees and a lot of bushes. A lot of little private spots you can find. Been out here trucking long enough, you will have that experience. You will. I guarantee it. Just wait. Yeah, man. Just wait till you have some of that nice spicy truck stop food. Or you get the stomach flu. Then all bets are off. Then it ain't no joke no more. So yeah, those kind of levels of stress. And then you get these attitudes from these shippers and receivers that won't let you use their bathroom. That's a common courtesy. So, yeah, can we fix it? No, not really. You can suck it up and just deal with it the best you can. And if you don't like it, make that tough decision. Hang up the keys and go home. I did back in 2011, 2012. I hung up the keys and went home. Of course, I had an injury, so... But I had the opportunity to stay driving after I recovered a little bit, but I had enough. I had a lot going on at home though too, so you know, I had stress at home and I had stress on the road, so it was unbearable. Now I have a very loving wife, and I talk to her every day, and it's very loving. She really appreciates what I do, and so I'm very happy with my home situation, so I can bear more out here. Doesn't bother me as much. Still bothers me, but not as bad. Now, if it was a very tumultuous situation at home, and it was like that out here on the road, I wouldn't be able to do this. I would have a nervous breakdown. I would flip my shit, and I would go crazy. So, that's all I've got for right now. Thanks for watching this video, and if you like this video, like and subscribe and share. We can get the word out there, and I can get some followers, and you know, of course, with the more followers and subscribers that you have, these videos are able to go out more. And yeah, if you like me, I know I'm pretty hard to like. Pretty opinionated guy, and I say how it is, but I'm not shy. Hopefully you like me. Hopefully I'm entertaining. I got lots of stories to tell, and I know how to tell them really well, so please like and subscribe and share, and thanks for watching. Have a great day.